Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel and to another video. After being in the area for our previous video at Morton Corbett, we decided to visit a castle that really piqued our interest. Known for its location on a steep crag and its breathtaking views across the valleys, this place is truly something so wonderful to experience and one of Mid Wales's hidden secrets. Join us for an explore as we share and discover the history of Montgomery Castle. The stone-built castle was often a key stronghold in the Welsh marches until the 1400s, when the area declined into a period of political stability. But later, during the English Civil War, the castle was the host to one of the bloodiest battles in the history of Wales, the Battle of Montgomery in 1644. The first castle in Montgomery started in the years of 1071 to 1074, built by Roger de Montgomery, whose name passed later to the Welsh town and castle. The stronghold that Roger built became known as Hen de Men, and was a motte and bailey wooden structure, located more north to this later stone castle. After his death in 1094, Hen de Men passed into the hands of his descendants, and then eventually became royal property. It was then captured by Welsh forces and then burned. However, the timber stronghold was then rebuilt after 1223 and remained in use till around the 1300s, when it became useless as a result of Edward I's campaign. The stone castle that we see today was built on the initiative of the English King Henry III, after its surrounding land was recaptured from Llywelyn. The builder of the new castle was Hubert de Burgh, Earl of Kent, who also worked on the construction of the three castles in Skenfrith, Grosmont and White Castle. The work on the new castle took over 5 years and consisted of an inner ward, 2 gatehouses, 2 D-shaped towers and apartments all around the inner ward's curtain wall. These renovations helped when in 1228 Prince Llywelyn tried to attack the castle, but was unsuccessful as the occupants of the time built a middle and outer ward for extra protection. Later, in 1282, the castle garrison was part of the army that defeated Llywelyn and the Battle of Orowin Bridge. It was after this battle that the castle diminished in its capacity as a military fortification and served more as a prison. The castle was attacked again in 1233, which resulted to damage it to the well tower, which had to be subsequently repaired and re-roofed. The walled town of Montgomery was attacked by the rebel forces of Owain Glyndwr in 1402 and was sacked and burned. However, the stone castle fortress held out against the attack. Even though the garrison was not large, the thought-out design of the castle and the men inside did their job defending and attacking. The town walls were not rebuilt, and the town remained a ruin for 2 whole centuries. The town walls have now all disappeared over the intervening centuries, but now only the town ditch remains. When the First English Civil War began in August of 1642, Mid Wales was largely royalist, and the castle was held for Charles I. And on the 18th of September, a royalist attempt to retake the castle was rejected in what was one of the biggest battles of the war in Wales, and a major victory for Parliament. At the decisive Battle of Montgomery in 1644, the Parliamentarian forces overwhelmed the royalist infantry lines. The battle lasted only 1 hour, but around 500 royalists were killed, and Parliamentarian forces imprisoned 1,500 royalists, and the parliamentarians suffered 100 casualties, including Sir William Fairfax. However, the new parliamentarian governor, Sir John Price, who was a royalist defender, switched sides again in May 1645. Then much of Wales rose again in the 1648 Second English Civil War, and the castle walls were demolished by Parliament in June of 1649. Despite opposition from Richard Herbert, who succeeded his father in 1647. This policy was followed throughout England and Wales to prevent them being used again, reducing the number and cost of garrisons that were required. Richard Herbert was the last to use the castle as a residence and was buried at Montgomery in 1655. You begin to realise just how fortified this castle once was. It was protected on 3 sides by steep cliffs and crowded valleys. It's only here that there is level ground, which was of course vulnerable to attack, but the main entrance further on was much more complex and heavily fortified. Either side of us we are faced with 2 rock-cut ditches before even getting close to the heart of the castle. The middle ward that we have to walk through would have once had the layout of a typical castle, with a 2-tower gatehouse and a centrally located passageway. It was defended by a wall that was well equipped with small semicircular turrets. The 2 towers were built in the mid-13th century, and the rest of the middle ward contained economic houses for the servants and the garrison. On the right-hand side, near the eastern curtain, a 14th century building was made, intended for drying grain after harvest. But the best part is being able to see on a good day all the way across the beautiful Welsh valleys. The views are just incredible. The upper ward, or the heart of the fortress, was an elongated horseshoe shape. Hubert de Burgh built the inner ward as a proper stronghold, and if all else would fail, he knew that with all of the works that went into reinforcing it, they would still be able to hold on till the bitter end. It had the thickest of walls in the castle and was incredibly tough as a gatehouse, and had all of the different resources that were cleverly built inside the inner ward so that they would be able to stand alone in conflict. The most important resource that they made was the secured water supply. The well and its tower were the main priority of the construction. Medieval miners were brought in from Gloucestershire to sink the well, and they managed to dig 210 feet down through solid rock to reach the source of water below. Other important structures like the kitchen and a great hall that was fit for a king were originally built in wood, and it was way more important for the strength of the defences to come first over the king's comforts. The main apartments were in the large twin-towered inner gatehouse, with a great chamber, private rooms and a chapel. The all-important well was in the adjacent D-shaped tower, and next to this was the kitchen and brewhouse. You're still able to see some of the remains of the massive round oven that is formed of thin stone plates at the edges. Moving towards the views, you walk down 3 shallow stairs to the brewery. To the east of the brewhouse, you can look around for chutes that would have drained the waste and the debris away from the castle, down the sheer rock. The castle certainly looks very dramatic, especially from below, but also when you are wandering the site. It really reminded us of Carreg Cennen Castle, with how it dominates the hilltop and overlooks the town. The views from the top are extensive, and the site is normally host to wedding, christening and family photo shoots. The castle is free to enter and approach from a short path to the south. Free parking is available close by, with around a 5-minute walk, or you can park in the quiet town and follow the steep road up from there. For us, it's been incredible to be able to tick off the pinned list, but we'd like to encourage you to take a visit whilst driving through mid-Wales. So we hope you've enjoyed our visit to Montgomery Castle and it's given you some inspiration. If you've liked what you've seen, please be sure to hit that like button, click the notification bell and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. We'd like to say a big thank you to our Patreons, and to those watching, we'll see you in the next one. Till next time.